Hi guys, welcome back. So this episode we'll be looking at Finland, which was the last country I visited as I was chasing the Northern Lights, and it's part of the Snow White Winter European tour, and I hope you will enjoy. After I left Iceland, I flew into Finland, and the plan was initially to get to Helsinki, go out in time to see a few things, tour Helsinki for that day and the night, and then in the morning I was to leave now to go to Rovaniemi, be there for that the night. The next day I would leave and come back to Helsinki and fly out from Helsinki, and I went to Denmark. So once I arrived at the airport, one of the first things I saw was a husky, which is like one of those dogs they use in the dog sleds. And after the bus station, as I was walking towards my hotel, I saw these guys who were playing some music, interesting music. And then from there I went and had some hot chocolate because I still had a long ways to walk to the hotel. It was walking distance, but not. It was like maybe a kilometer or something from the station, and I was carrying a heavy bag. And so after that, I got to the hotel, which had a very funny name, Omena Hotel. This hotel was interesting in the sense that you don't interact with any receptionist. You're given a code, they send you an email. Once you book, you pay, you're given a code. Once you get there, all you need to do is to insert the code at the door, and then you call you, and that's it. And once I got to the hotel room, I'd say, let me sleep a bit, and then I would go out and do my tour. And I really wanted to go to this ice rink I'd seen, but the problem is by the time I got there, they had closed the ice rink. So I have skated in Nairobi, and I wanted to do that ice skating that you do in public area, outside in the open, and more like what you see in the movies. So I was a bit late, and so I toured Helsinki at night. Went to a couple of sites, very beautiful things that you can see in the night tours, and I would encourage anyone, when you're traveling, don't only travel during the day, plan to do, especially in Europe, a lot of the monuments look even better at night because they're well lit, they look more interesting, the buildings also look interesting, the area looks interesting at night as well. So as you saw in Vienna and other places, so it's always good to tour at night. So the next day I woke up, carried my big bag. It was actually snowing on my way as I was walking, but I got to the bus station, took a bus to the airport. They had to actually clean the planes. There's a way they clean the planes ready for flight. It's snowing so that at least they can fly and not have issues. And so I took a flight to Rovaniemi, which is the second most northern place I've been to, but also a place that made me appreciate how blessed I was when I went to Boda, that it wasn't as cold as this place was. And it was crazy. When you would walk out, if you're in a house and you walk out, you'd feel like your chest has been hit by something. You'd cough. As in, you'd feel that change immediately you walk out. If I didn't get accommodation, I don't think I would be able to survive. There was no way. There was no way. I would not even be able to get out of the airport. If I ever did, I would be dead. yeah, minus 32 kills you like this. Yeah, once I got to this town, it's a town that builds itself around a lot of Christmas stuff. And they have a Santa Claus village which all year it's open. So you can actually go in, they have very interesting things. So even from the airport you start seeing that. The Arctic Circle actually passes through that, and you could actually see it once we got to the village. We took a taxi to the resort where I was staying that night, and on the way I told her, we were talking with the taxi driver, I told him I'm from Kenya. He's like, Kenya? Actually I know a Kenyan. So he called this guy and told me, this guy is, hey, I'm here, you can't believe I'm here with a Kenyan. And so we started talking. I was like, dude, what are you doing in this place? Like, it's a very remote place in Finland. It's extremely cold. There's a Kenyan in there, and you're like, hey. So he worked there. He was like studying nursing, and he worked in this place. And so when I got to the resort, the lady at the desk tells me
at the moment 22 or 23
minus
degrees.
At night it got to minus 32. Once I got there, first I went to my room, set up everything, and I was told now the problem is what you're wearing will not be enough. That time I've worn like I don't know how many layers. So on top of that they would give me this suit and these boots because they told me what you're wearing, even your shoes will not hack it here. They suggested I do something, jacuzzi and sauna. So the Finnish love their saunas and saunas, I think called saunas or something. So I did it, and then they told me one thing you need to try and do is also like roll in the ice when you're naked. Yeah, so I was like, well, this is a dark, this place where it is dark. I'm a dark guy. So there was no one around, and I said, it's a tradition that we do here, why not? And I tried it. Yes, you can imagine, minus 32. So what you do is you go to the sauna and you're like really warm, you quickly go there, and it's not somewhere you're going to be like for like a minute or even 30 seconds. It's like, snow, quickly, get your towel, run back to the sauna, or you go to the jacuzzi, a hot jacuzzi. Get in, the jacuzzi it's outside actually, so you're dressed up, you go there, you sit in there, whatever. So up here is in minus 32, down here is very warm, and so that was one of the things I did, and I'm like, wow. So we agreed to do a tour at night for the Northern Lights. First I went to the Santa Claus village, because then the trip would start much later. After I got to the Santa Claus village, I toured that place, and so you can see how they've invested in the Santa Claus story for Christmas. And so this wasn't even Christmas. This I think was in February. I saw the Arctic Circle. This blue line on top is the Arctic Circle, or imaginary Arctic Circle. It passes. So they have a place, their letters, I think they actually do receive actual letters. Those kids in movies you see when they're writing letters to Santa Claus, some of them actually get to this particular place. And so you can actually go and read letters from all over the world. You can then also go and see Santa, so they have this setup for Santa.
Okay, thank you. Hello, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. You are here, so I'm fine. Please sit down here.
Thank you. I just needed to understand the whole procedure.
Well, we take a photo of everybody here,
Okay.
and after that you can discuss if you want it or not.
Ah,
But we can
That's album.
yeah.
okay. Okay,
First,
it's for your
it's
album.
me.
Okay.
It's for me. And you can come
So
closer.
remember that you have me here.
Yeah, and don't be afraid. It's only me.
Oh, okay. So keep that big smile and what's
Okay, we got
Ota yksi vielä.
Oh, yeah, yes, let's do one more.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. You look so happy.
Yeah.
You're from Kenya.
Yes.
I think you're the first one for today from Kenya.
Oh, from today from Kenya. How many do you get?
Few in a year.
Ah, in a year.
Of course.
Ah,
of course,
okay.
yes. We are getting visitors from all over the world.
Okay. Okay.
But some countries not so many.
Ah, all right.
Yeah. So how's Finland for you?
Ah, cool.
I can imagine. I can
I
imagine.
understand why you have to wear the big boots.
These are a little bit small for me. But otherwise they are good. So what have you seen here?
This is my first stop. Okay, I came to Finland yesterday,
Okay.
Helsinki. Then I've just arrived today to
The Rovaniemi.
Rovaniemi, and this is my first place I'm touring.
Oh, how long are you going to be in Rovaniemi?
Oh no, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I'll try and see as much. The reindeer park is already closed. Or what?
I think it's for today. It's
Okay.
closed already.
What time do you open in the morning?
I don't know, after 10 or something like that.
10, okay.
Yeah. When are you leaving tomorrow?
Well, my flight is at 3, so by 1 I should be there.
So you still have time. You still have time.
Yeah.
What about tonight? You want to see the Aurora Borealis? The northern lights?
Yes.
So let's hope.
Let's hope.
Nobody can promise.
I know. I saw them in Iceland, so this time, but it was faint. So I hope today I'll be able to see with my own eyes without the camera.
So I'm not sure if it's okay to tell you, but last night we had very beautiful
I was told very, very. So I'm
What
hoping
day?
today is very clear today, so hopefully.
So it promises something.
Yes.
Promises. But this last night it was about 11 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
Quite late. After
Ah.
11, it was I think 11:30 or something in the night. So
Okay.
you have to stay.
Yeah, there's a trip that do at 9 till I think 3 hours. So hopefully within the 3 hours,
Okay.
something happens. And I'm also at Africa area, so maybe I'll watch out in the night just in case I hear or
Yeah.
I see something. At least I'm facing the window, so I can always pop out and see what's happening.
They are beautiful.
Yes.
Last night they were really beautiful.
Really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay?
Let's hope that it's
When
going
you
to
see them without the camera,
Yes.
you see them
Yes.
different colors or what?
There was green.
Green.
Mostly green. The other colors you can see normally with the camera.
Okay. Oh, alright.
Yeah. But sometimes you can see the blue one or the purple one.
Oh, okay.
But normally it's green that you saw.
They were playing a lot. For how long were they? Did you see them?
It depends. Sometimes it's few minutes, sometimes it's a few hours.
Continuous?
Yes,
Oh, no.
yes. You never know. Sometimes
Yes,
it's 1 minute.
If it happens, I think I'll probably drain all the batteries I have. Okay. Awesome.
So it's so nice to have you here.
Same here. Thank you very much for having me.
And I hope to see you again someday.
Yes, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll be a good boy.
Yeah. I have to check.
Check the
something
record.
else, yes.
When I got back, I remember I'd set up everything. I was ready with my camera and tripod, and I was in this lounge area, and we were talking. And then a lady came and said, "Hey, it's, the Northern Lights are actually, playing in the skies. If you really want." So I quickly grabbed my camera, went out, and immediately started taking photos. And then I was waiting for some guys to get ready, and once they were ready, they came out and they were like, so now we had to go for the snow train. It's like a snowmobile with the carriage at the back where we would be carried, and then they would take us somewhere in the forest where we could now had a better chance to also look at them. We got there. At some point we started seeing, that I took photos. I was trying to this time round, because I mean they were clear, I really wanted to take like what they call time lapse. You know, when you see like this nice northern lights when they are playing, it's really bright and whatever, normally they do a time lapse. Because the video doesn't work. You know, video, you'll see the video kind of videos you get, the difference between the video and the time lapse. But now the time lapse, you also have to really like do a proper setting for it so that you can actually get, it needs to capture enough light so that you actually have like a brilliant show. I got to discover that night when I was taking photos. You know, you have gloves and then you're given beacons on top. And I'm telling you, because you now need to adjust the camera and do things, at times you need to remove the gloves and just for the few seconds you remove to like make that adjustment and take that photo. I was exposed. I started getting frostbite in these two fingers. And at the end of the day, they actually started turning a bit dark later. And I'm telling you, frostbite, you know what a frostbite, it's like putting the fingers in hot water. That's what I felt. It was crazy painful. You know, it even affected some of the photos I had to take later. When I got back to the hotel, I am telling you, my fingers were in pain. We were taken to this, it's like they have a tent, it looked like an Inuit or Native American tents. And so we went in, they would roast some sausages and drink some warm juices, hot juices actually. And so as I said, this was like, it's more like what I saw in Germany, you know, and it was an awesome experience. And when we were there for a few minutes looking at things, the next thing, one of the guests who was there started screaming, so we went out and we saw the most amazing display of the Northern Lights. Every time I went out, I saw something more and more brilliant. When we had gone to the forest, it was better than what I'd seen in Iceland, in terms of what you could see with the eyes. It was more brilliant, more, you know. And then when we went now, the final show, and it lasted. I'm telling you, it lasted to the point where, but we just decided to go to our rooms because we had had enough. We had seen and seen. We did not think you'd ever have enough. We watched and watched it, played it, disappeared. At that point, it was the most brilliant, and you can hear the joy. When you're taking videos, the ISO and everything, you can't get very bright. As in the special cameras that now can get you very, very bright shows, but what you see with the video is worse than the eye. But what you see when you're taking photos, it is the eye can't even see, you know. But what I was able to see even with the camera now, it was so brilliant. And you know, when I brighten it up so that at least you can see everything. But I can tell you that show was unbelievable. It was worth the chase. It was worth the expenses.
Then you know it's Christmas when the snow starts to fall.
So for me, I thank God that each time I went, I saw something. I saw a glimpse, then I saw more, and I kept seeing more and more every time I went out to see them. So I thank God for that.
It's Christmas, 'cause Santa's on his way.
The next day then, because I wanted to see the reindeer, and I wanted to see the dog sleds, and I was able to quickly do that before I got to the airport. There was a lady taxi driver who actually decided to. I told her, is it possible? She was like, yeah, you go in, take your photos, and then come back, I'll take you. I mean, it was so accommodating, and so it was brilliant. It was it made my trip. And though it wasn't Christmas, it felt like Christmas.
Wraps the final gift. You know it's time for Christmas for each and every one.
The interesting thing about travel, I met a Finnish guy, a guy with like 20 years. I met him on a plane trip to Mombasa. And yeah, he was out with his buddies, and this trip they had fully sponsored by themselves, you know. That's what they did. And That's how he traveled. He traveled to Thailand, he traveled to a couple of countries, and the guy, you know how he saved his money? He was working in a bakery in the evening, nighttime. He would work there and then he would save his money and would do travels. In Iceland, the apartment where I was actually ended up interacting with 3 receptionists. One was from France, another one was from Poland, the other one was from Spain, I think. So there were 2 ladies and another guy. And we would talk, and like one of the ladies had said she wanted to do a tour, an African tour. She had already planned for it, and she wanted that eventually the tour would end. It would be like 6 months, but she would end up in Seychelles because Seychelles Independence Day was the same day as her birthday. These guys, what they do, they save up for their trips. So this lady, whatever she's doing her work, and she's saving up for these 6 months that she's planning to eventually go to Africa, and she wanted to go to Ethiopia, come to Kenya, I think go to Tanzania, I don't know which other country, then eventually go to Seychelles. And this is actually something that really I hope we could start. It's really important. It's only that travel has changed. We don't know how travel will be in a few years. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you on the next one, which should be Netherlands. Yes, we go back to the lands, and we'll enjoy.
I can't wait to see what's under